this exercise is for total body resistance stabilization. So the exercise we're going to do today is a one-legged squat in combination with an anterior shoulder raise. And we're going to use tubing as our resistance today. So what we're going to do is find ourselves a tube, fold it in half, and as we set this up, we're going to place the tube underneath the right foot so that the loop of the tube is in between the feet. Now the more loop you see, the more challenging or more resistance the tube will provide. The less loop you see is a good method to regress this exercise if we need to. From this position, we're going to take one handle in each hand and place them towards our hip bones. Taking the left leg and placing it behind us, what we want to do is keep the hips and shoulders square, brace the abdominals, and just lift forward and tip just slightly. For the lunge portion of this exercise, we're just simply going to bend the knee and straighten the knee, being sure that the knee tracks over the center of the foot, and again, that the hips and shoulders stay square. Once we're comfortable with this movement, we're going to add in the secondary movement, which is the anterior shoulder raise. So as we take our single leg squat, we're going to bring the hands up to shoulder height, and then return back to the starting position. So the count is 2 counts down, 1 count hold, 3 counts to come back up. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. From a side view, once again, if we set up with the loop underneath the foot, again, legs back, handles to hips, belly braced, hips and shoulders are square. We're going to take the movement to the single leg lunge, anterior raise, return back. Hands should come up no higher than shoulder height. And always make sure with these types of stabilization exercises, if you do one side, we always want to make sure that we do the same exercise on the other leg. This next exercise is my example of total body resistance strength. Once again, we're going to use our tubing as our resistance, as we create a full body movement that's going to engage our legs, our core, and our upper body as well. So setting up this exercise, we're actually going to begin by stepping on our tubing with the feet maybe a little bit wider than hip distance apart. Once again, we want to maintain some strength through the pelvic complex, brace our core, and set the shoulders. Now as we begin this exercise, we're actually going to start by taking an isometric bicep curl. So we're going to bend the elbow to 90 degrees, and we're actually going to maintain this isometric contraction as we move through the exercise. Adding on, what we're going to do is bend the knees and the hips, slipping the hips back to create a squat as we flex the shoulder and bring our hands up to about the height of our eyes. From here, we're actually going to stand straight up, maintaining the flexion of the shoulder and the elbow. Sit back down again, and then return to our starting position. So the full exercise has us squatting, standing, squatting, returning to the starting position. Again, activating the muscles of the lower body, contracting through the center body, maintaining an isometric contraction of the bicep muscle, and utilizing flexion of the shoulder joint. Our timing for this, 2 counts down, 2 counts to stand up, 2 counts to sit, 2 counts to rise. And that's my exercise for total body resistance strength. This is my exercise for total body resistance power. Today we're going to do an exercise called a clean and press, and we're going to use a barbell to complete this exercise. So what we would like to have on our barbell is a fairly heavy weight, and the idea behind the power is to be moving this weight in a fairly quick manner. Now the clean and press itself is actually a combination of a number of different exercises brought together. So we're very much going to engage the lower body, the musculature of the core, and the upper body as well. Because the barbell is fairly heavy, we always want to take a lot of care, make sure we bend the knees and brace the abdominals as we pick up our heavy bar. Okay. Now, the clean and press bring together a number of different exercises. The first portion of this exercise is an upright row. So we're going to begin with heels stacked under hips, abdominals braced, chest lifted, shoulders back and down and stacked. The first portion, the upright row, is going to bring the bar up the body to about mid-chest as the elbows drive outward and wide, but maintain a position beneath shoulder height. From here, we're going to very quickly move the elbows under the bar and in, and bend the knees in order to catch the load. It's really important in this position that the abdominals are braced to protect the low back. Using the power of the legs from here, we're going to drive the bar upward and overhead, and then we're going to reverse the combination as we return back to our set position. So again, an upright row through a squat, driving the heels to the hands and returning. The option in this exercise is to add a heel lift in order to get underneath the bar. It's important again in this exercise that the knees are bent and tracking over the center of the foot, and that the bar remains close to the body, particularly on the hang clean section of this exercise. The hang clean in particular is a very fast moving exercise where we draw the bar up and slip under very quickly. So up and under and return. So we move from the hang clean to the power section. So we come under, driving from heels to hands upward and return. Load, explode, reset. Load, explode, reset. And that's my exercise for total body